Hello, my authentically me beauties. Thank you so much for being here. This is season 3. Bow, bow, bow. I am feeling all kinds of emotions being here. Holy shit, it's been a while. It's been a long while. And when I first started doing this podcast, I didn't know anything about doing podcasts. I didn't know how to do a podcast. I didn't know what I would even talk about, except for I had the intention of being as authentic as I possibly can be and sharing my process and sharing guests whom I feel also show up very authentically in their craft, in their lives, in their social media presence, whatever that is. So I have a confession to make. I started season 1 and it was very much like, I'm just gonna, throw spaghetti on the wall and see what sticks, essentially. I'm just gonna do the thing and see what happens. And that was a success. I'm nervous. I'm like tripping over my words up in here. And season 2, I decided, okay, let's get a little bit more intentional about this. So I decided to focus on sex, love, and dating. And something beautiful happened throughout season 2. I wanted to focus on that because of where I was in my life and what I felt challenged by and what I desired to manifest, which was beautiful dating life, beautiful divine partner. And following season 2, almost immediately following season 2, that is exactly what happened. So for those of you who listen to the podcast but may not follow me on social media, I met my divine partner and am engaged. Woo! And it's been a very beautiful experience and process. We knew right away that we loved each other and wanted to be together forever. And however things unfolded, we're both on the same page, in commitment to choosing each other first, and excited to do so. So, as we approached season 3 of Authentically Me podcast, I'm like, what am I going to focus on? Because holy shit, season 2 brought me the most divine gift, my partner. And so I decided to focus on online entrepreneurs, female online entrepreneurs. So here we are. I have some beautiful guests lined up already and even more to come. I'm going to throw into season 3 also some raw, authentically me conversations, which is where I take listeners or friends, or not necessarily people that I feel called to interview, but people that I just want to come on and have chats with. So there will be some of those, some interviews, some empowerment recordings, which is something new that I'm going to try this season. So, please join the community on Facebook, Authentically Me Community, if you are not there already. I'm actually streaming this recording live in the community right now. And so I'm getting all of the excited nerves going because I'm live and I'm also coming back for the first time for season 3. So in the community, it is a safe place for you to practice being authentic. It is a safe space for you to express, and you will get updates and news first on episodes, new releases, guests, and the ability to give me feedback, which is what started me here with this stream of consciousness. Not only on the episodes, the content, but also on questions that you might want to ask particular guests that I have coming on. So please join us, Authentically Me Community, on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram at Authentically Me Radio. I appreciate your support. I love you guys. And so the words of empowerment are going to look like just my calming voice talking and saying things like, "You are enough." It will not be like that. It will sound more ASMR style, more meditative, maybe some visualization practices. So I'm really excited to just share the power of my voice, its frequency, and what comes through me to hopefully empower and impact you. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I love each and every one of you. And, something I've come to understand in the realm of this podcast is that people love my voice. People love my voice. And I love my voice. I think it's really seductive. It sounds like a mermaid siren, and it's very calming. It calms people, it attracts people, and I get to share it. How beautiful is that? And I love sharing my thoughts, my insights, and my healing with you. So I was on a coaching call, and this woman who is also a vulnerability expert, her name's Jamie Skagen. She's been featured on the podcast, so please search the episodes and check it out. It is such a beautiful transmission. She said something on this coaching call recently that shook my world and blew my fucking mind. And she said, if you're not selling or sharing yourself, you're selfish. If you are not selling your services and sharing yourself with others, you are selfish. And I'm like, okay, Jamie, break it down for me. What do you mean? And there are people that can benefit from who you are, from what it is that you have to give to this world. There are people that are ready to connect with you, to receive from you, to purchase things from you even. And as an online entrepreneur, and as one myself, I can get in my own way of that. And the logic here is that through my own emotional discomforts, limiting beliefs, and stories, I may or may not have gotten in my own way when it comes to sharing myself, sharing my voice with you, sharing my services with you. And yeah, I'm still kind of processing that and processing just allowing those words to fully sink in, because it's one thing to hear something, to know something to be true, to be able to logically say, okay, I know this is true, I understand. And it's another thing to feel it in your body as the absolute truth. So when I learn something new, I allow myself to process it and feel it in my body. Like, is this true in my body? Do I really feel this? And then if I really feel this and it's true in my body and in my mind, then I can take action upon it in everyday life and embody that truth. So part of me being here right now with you is that embodiment. So I gave you a little bit of backstory about season 1 and season 2. And I didn't plan on having a season 1 and a season 2 and a season 3. It was just kind of like, oh, shit, I stopped posting podcast episodes. Well, okay. I guess I guess this is what this is turning into, because I didn't have a plan when I started the podcast, as I spoke previously. So, I like having a season a year and a container to focus on something. This may change. It may change after this season. I could, you know, continue on from here and post weekly. Who knows? I'm open to that. I am allowing whatever flows to flow, and I'm learning and I'm trusting. I'm trusting what is happening in my life, in my experience, in my community, and in the world right now. Like, for example, COVID. Um, what a beautiful reminder. We have no control over anything that happens. We have power, we have discernment, we have gifts, we have abilities to um, use tools to help us create the life that we desire to. But COVID has been one really big reminder to us all, like, oh, hey, you think you can control things? Guess what? You can't. And so, with that being said, I also wouldn't have the relationship that I do right now if COVID didn't happen. So, as with anything that happens for us, not to us in this life, we get to move into gratitude. So I'm learning to trust what is happening in the world, in my body, in my community, in my life. I'm learning to discern my desires and navigate using tools how to share them with you guys. And I don't want to be selfish anymore. So I'm feeling really empowered, and I'm excited for season 3 to focus on female online entrepreneurship and hopefully empowering myself and empowering so many other goddesses out there in this world to fucking get it. It's time. So, it's so easy, however, to get lost in the comparison game. And that is another thing that I've been being selfish, quote unquote, selfish with. It's entangled with limiting beliefs and experiences. And I have compared myself to so many other online entrepreneurs and to so many other women. And most men and women can attest to this. And if you agree, reach out to me, let me know. I really want to build a stronger community this season surrounding the podcast, which is another reason why I'm focusing on female online entrepreneurship and targeting beautiful humans who have beautiful communities and quote unquote success. And I'm really hoping to actualize these things into my own life and experience. So we compare ourselves to others. It is our human nature. We come from ancestors built on tribe, built on community, built on coming together, supporting each other, accepting each other, loving each other. And none of us want to be banished from our tribe, from our community, from our people. So it's natural for us to jump to the comparison game. Now, fast forward to the age of information where everything is literally at our fingertips, and it just takes opening up your phone to find a picture of someone or a video of something and to move into that said comparison game. And I'll be honest, I allowed this comparison game to take a greater toll on me than I would have liked. I mean, nobody wants that, but I I am happy to admit it. I'm happy to admit it. I'm happy to hold it, to love it, to release it, to move to gratitude. I have no control over what is happening and whether or not people love me or accept me. But what I do know is that I am talented. I have a beautiful voice. I'm so excited to be here. And it feels good. I feel like I'm live processing right now and shedding these layers. We're heading into fall, the time of shedding things that are no longer serving us anymore. So, what is no longer serving you? Let us release it. Let us move forward into this season grounded and connected to ourselves, to Source, and to this earth. The reality, the reason I'm starting with these stories and sharing these insights, the stream of consciousness with you, is that I did not feel good enough. I didn't feel good enough to have a podcast. And I have been slowly writing a book. And I use quotations. If you're watching the video, which is on YouTube, by the way, Authentically Me Radio on YouTube. Quotations. I'm writing a book because part of me doesn't feel good enough to write this book, which is crazy because it's based on my own experiences and my own lessons and what has helped me transform my life. And it is medicine for whoever can connect to me, relate to me, and whoever is in or around my community of people. So I'm moving through that. A lot is changing right now in my life with being engaged and with, I just moved also. I'm planning a wedding. I'm starting up season 3 of the podcast. I'm starting a sex and love university in January with Alexa Martinez, who also is a beautiful soul that has been featured on this podcast. Please search and reflect upon previous episodes because they're still so valuable. And yeah, just navigating new elements to this new life, to this new way of living. I'm rewiring my brain. I'm growing, I'm expanding. And this is a really vulnerable time for humanity. And there are certain light workers, or insert whatever word you resonate with to reference a inspirational leader, spiritual guide, etc. I'm going to use the word light workers though. There are light workers that are here right now, a large number of them, who have fully integrated so many tools that they have acquired on this journey. They are actualizing their experience. They are allowing family dynamics to crumble, which is a painful process. And it's also a process that I'm presently experiencing, especially with planning the wedding and inviting quote unquote family to the wedding. It's surfacing a lot of things. So there's some deep processing, some deep crumbling that is happening because a lot of our systems across the board, systems, are based on old belief systems and old paradigms. And they are changing, which I believe is another gift straight from COVID. And there are certain people who are here to anchor in these new ways of being, these new paradigms. And so I am one of those people. And I'm just leaning in as deeply as I possibly can. Something you may have heard me say on this podcast before is that we are similar to a tree or a plant. The deepest, our most raw root goes into the earth, the higher we can grow on the earthly plane. So the deepest, the rawest root of a tree exists in the ground, the higher the tree can grow above ground. And that's the same for humans that are living on the earthly plane as well. So I'm doing my best to lean into everything, to stay open, to know, feel, and actualize the value that I am aligned with, and that I believe every single one of us here on this earth is aligned with. Whew. Just taking a deep breath into that. So this is episode 1 of season 3, Authentically Me Radio. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. I'm so excited to jump into more transmissions. If you like what you hear, please give me a review on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. If you visit my website, www.authenticallymeradio.com, you'll see that my podcast is available on 7 platforms. So whatever platform you fancy, if you fancy me, please go leave me a review. It matters. You matter. Thank you.